everything feels so abstract. Yeah, it's complicated. What you say, the way you act, well, it makes me so confused. I don't know what to do anymore. Can't you just make up your mind? My heart drops when you play around. How can you be up when I'm down? Don't wanna think about it right now. Maybe you just wanna be friends, but there is a fight when we are talking. Maybe you just wanna pretend, but I can read between the lines. Even if I can't deny that all the things you said are hurting. Still wanna be with you. I think you want it too. 'Cause baby, I don't wanna be. Baby, I don't wanna be. Oh, baby, I don't wanna be. Baby, I don't wanna be. How it hurts to see you smile, like a dagger hit me. She just seems so juvenile. I just want it to be me. I wanna set your world on fire. Oh, you're so sure I'll stick around. Oh, my heart drops when you play around. How can you be up when I'm down? Don't wanna think about it right now. Maybe you just wanna be friends, but there is a fight when we are talking. Maybe you just wanna pretend, but I can read between the lines. Even if I can't deny that all the things you said are hurting. Still wanna be with you. I think you want it too. 'Cause baby, I don't wanna be. Baby, I don't wanna be. Oh, even if I can't deny that all the things you said are hurting. Still wanna be with you. I think you want it too. 'Cause baby, I don't wanna be. No, baby, I don't wanna be. No, baby, I don't wanna be. Baby, I don't wanna be.
Hi, everyone. I am Nicki Baxley. I'm so glad to be with you today. I hope that you've had time to do my class because we're going to be answering some questions, but I just generally wanted to let you know what I am and what I do. I'm a card maker. I love all types of card making, and you can find me everywhere on social media as Nicki Hearts Cards. So I'm on YouTube, I'm on Pinterest, I'm on Facebook, and Instagram, everything. And I'm that same at Nicki Hearts Cards everywhere. Just pay attention to how my name is spelled. So I'm so excited to be sharing with you my project. And if you haven't seen it yet, just in case you haven't gotten a chance to watch, I'm going to kind of hold it up to the camera so you can see. The title of mine is called Making It 3D. So we look at 3 different ways to make a card look 3D. Okay, so I'm going to kind of show you what it looks like. See if you can see the texture and all of that excitement. Sorry, move it more into the screen. All right. So as far as this project, we're going to go through all the things that we use to make it. This is mostly Altenew products. So Altenew dies, an Altenew embossing folder, and also Altenew stencil. So you will see all of that in my supply list. I do have a giveaway going on, so make sure you've got a couple different ways to win with me. I have a giveaway going with the Card Maker Success Summit, but that will put you on my newsletter list. And for my newsletter list, I am doing a 10K giveaway because I just hit 10K on YouTube. So make sure that you get entered in both of those. You'll see that come out in an email pretty soon. So do we have any questions yet? Okay. All right. How do I come up with ideas for new techniques, and who was your inspiration? So I am one of those kind of daydreamy people. I mean, I definitely look at Instagram. I feel like I can just scroll through there and get color options and different ideas. But a lot of times it's the products too. A lot of times I just sit down, look at products. I really love using a color wheel to kind of decide what I'm going to do. Sometimes before I even decide what I'm doing, I decide what colors I'm going to do. And that for me works really well. I talk about using a color wheel in the video, but that just helps me get things looking or just get inspired by those colors as well. So there are lots of people out there that I love watching on YouTube as well. Any other questions? Oh, okay. Where can you find the color wheel shown at the beginning of your tutorial? So I've got it right here. I actually laminated mine, and look at how easy that spins. This is a free download from Katherine Poer ink. Okay. I'll try to pop it up in the comments of this live so that you can get to it. But Katherine Poer, these are all her inks. And so you can get color wheels anywhere. These ones specifically talk about her inks though. So if you use those inks, downloading these free is great. And I laminated mine so that it doesn't tear up and the colors stay nice and bright. Okay. All right. So I am new to this technique. So new, I haven't tried it yet. What would you recommend to a newbie starting out? Okay, so starting out with card making, I would say you definitely need a paper trimmer of some sort. I have a lot of paper trimmers and it kind of depends on your preference on what you want, but just starting out with that, starting out with some stamps and some ink, I tend to, or stencils and ink, just get a couple of colors. I really think that you can do a lot just trying it out, and then you'll start to realize what you like and you can kind of move on from there. Okay, I have a large floral stamp similar to yours, and I'm so ready to try my hand at this. Yes. So you can definitely do this with a stamp. You can do it with a stencil. You just want to get your image down and then make those die cuts and raise them up with the foam tape. It will be it's a really impressive card. I know sometimes it's hard on camera to decide, like some cards look so impressive in person. It's really hard to capture that on camera, but having those extra layers really just makes it quite stunning. Okay. What is your YouTube name? My YouTube name is Nicki Hearts Cards. So it's down at the bottom of the screen right there. I know it's long, but it's Nicki Hearts Cards. It's how you spell my name, Hearts Cards. Okay. Do we have another one? Oh, thank you, Joyce. Thank you for congratulations on 10K. That's a big deal. This is a big week for me, and I am so excited. So I've got some D-Stash box giveaways going on my newsletter. So make sure that you have subscribed, or you can do that by just entering the giveaway at the Card Maker Success Summit, and then I can get to you. Okay. How do you store your scraps, and how do you decide which ones to keep? Okay, so I store scraps. I have a couple videos on YouTube about paper storage, and I have some folders that are actually made for this magazine type thing. I'm trying to see if I can reach them. I don't think I can, but they're plastic folders made by, I think, Paper Storage Studio, and I store them by color. So I put all the red in one, whatever. If it's a really nice cardstock that I have a limited amount of, I store it in that folder. So I store by color if it's just random and I can just use it for scraps and whatever. If it's like black Altenew paper and I have a little strip of it, I'm going to store it with the rest of my black Altenew paper, because sometimes you just need a little strip to match the mat or whatever. So if it's Gina K, if it's Altenew, if it's whatever, I'm having a specific thing that I use, a specific folder for that color, and I put it in there. And nothing, I mean, definitely something about like this would be probably the size that I keep. Sometimes I get a little bit overwhelmed with my space and I'm just like, trash all these little things, but most of the time I am pretty good. I love organizing, so it's kind of exciting. We have any other questions? Yeah. Okay. How can I give my stamped image more depth? So you can do similar inking with your stamps as you do with the stencil. You just need to use brushes. So in that, let me see if I've got one here. I brought y'all some examples. So in that video, I use some of these Altenew fine detail brushes. I use some of these. Okay. And I use some of these. This one's waffle flower. And you can do the inking onto the stamp the same way. So do one layer, stamp, go around the edges, stamp. It's going to give it a more detailed look. I actually have some videos on that specifically on my channel, and how to ink stamps so that they have that 3D kind of like, they just look like they're lit up from the inside. Okay. Do we have another question? Okay, I'm going to show you some other projects if I don't have one. Okay, what kind of ink do you use when stamping so there is no smearing with ink blending the stamped image? I use VersaFine Clair. Nocturne is the name of the color. That's the really black one. I use that one a lot. Most of the black inks, Altenews has a great black ink. Gina K has a great black ink. Most of them, if you stamp and give it time to dry, you're going to be fine. If you're worried about the drying time and you have limited time, you could always stamp it in black and then clear heat emboss it so that you're not smearing. But I use those. Those aren't safe for alcohol markers. So you do the VersaFine. I usually do the heat embossing if I'm doing alcohol markers. Okay, so I'm going to show y'all some more cards while I'm waiting on another question. Okay, this is the card that I did. This is another stencil card that I did. It's on my YouTube channel this week. And I was playing with doing different stenciling and like debossing. So fun stuff. Okay, that is on my YouTube channel this week. We have, I love all techniques. I don't know if y'all are the same or not, but I love playing with ink blending. I love playing with watercolor. Watercolor, I don't consider myself amazing at, but it's kind of easy. Like you can make it look so good. So one of the new releases that I did this week, this actually, I haven't even put it out on Instagram yet, but is with these butterflies that you can paint. So it looks complicated. It is so easy. And with this ink, so that I could paint, I did do that VersaFine Nocturne, and then I heat embossed it with clear so that I could easily paint over it. It's fun to do it regular. I just like that shininess. Do you have any more questions? Heard so many good things about Katherine Pooler inks and decided to try them. They're juicier than I'm used to. Any suggestions so not over inking the lettering on stamps? Yes, they are very juicy, and you have to really be careful with the amount of pressure you're putting. I just lightly tap, and if it still looks like, some of them are so juicy that it almost looks bubbly, then grab yourself like an ink blending brush and blend off some of the ink. You can just blend over the letters, and you will be able to, you may have to stamp a couple times, but you're going to get a much crisper image. And I really think Katherine Pooler makes her solid stamps so that you can do that inking that kind of looks like, most of the time people are inking with her stamps, which means using a blending brush onto the stamp. What is kept on your desk? Everything. No, I'm just kidding. So on my desk, I have adhesives. I've actively tried this year to get more things off my desk. I have a pretty good size. It's probably like this big. But with filming equipment and such, I feel like I need as much space as possible. So I have moved to using one of those We Are Maker carts. It's got like trays on it. I think Jennifer McGuire used it. And it rolls underneath my desk. I know you can't tell, but I have a stand-up desk. So I'm standing up at my desk right now, and I can roll things underneath, and that really helps me with saving space and looking a little neater. All right. Hey, hi, Katherine. Thank you. Yes, you need some good blending brushes. And of course, I'd love it if you've been binge watched my videos. I would say try multiple sizes. This is one of my new favorites. This is the, I think they call it the mini ink blending brush from Altenew. It's a great basic brush. It can get a lot of ink on it. And then get yourself something small too, like one of these little, this one's from Altenew as well. Lots of companies make it, but it's just a little bitty small one. This one, also amazing. This is from Waffle Flowers. Let me turn it around so you can read that. It's Waffle Flower shader brush. Really love these as well. And these come in a pack like of 10. I think this comes in a pack of 4 maybe. But this just really, I love like really intense color. And this really helps me get those intense colors. Okay, tell me what else you need to know. Okay, what type of printer, inkjet versus laser, can be used to use for stamping if you want to use alcohol markers? That's a great question because I don't ever do this. I am not sure that I know. I would assume a laser, lots of people like toner. I don't know if that's okay to alcohol ink with or not. I'm so sorry. I don't know that. I don't print out digital stamps. I haven't tried that before. I do lots of stamping and stenciling. Okay, any tips for a newbie to Katherine Poer inks? Okay, I think that we answered that one about the juiciness is ink blending on them. While we're getting more questions, I was going to show you another thing that I did. So I want to show you the difference in using this technique and not using this technique on a stencil. So you know that on my card, we used the I'll call it the 3D technique to do this kind of ink blending. So I'm going to show you 3 progressions of cards where I don't. So this one, I don't use it at all. Okay. I did a little bit of ink blending around the edge. You can see that's a stencil. Then I come in and just do a little bit more ink blending around the edge on this one. Okay. So I got 2. And then the third one, I use that technique. So let me try to hold them so that you can tell the difference. So can you see the difference in that? How much of a difference it makes? I think all of these are beautiful, but you've got lots of options. This is actually part of a free class that I have on Altenew's website. It's called Ink Blending Brushes 101. And I believe it's free right now. It's in their 101 classes, and you can just go play around, and I can show you different ways to use your blending brushes to create different effects. Okay. What size cards do you make? Are they mostly A2? Yes, they are. Why are they mostly A2? Just because I don't mind making other size cards, but you kind of get into a pattern, and a lot of times I don't want to have to think about what size the card is. So I just have A2 fronts, and I do those. If there's a really big image and I want to make a bigger card, I'm perfectly fine making bigger cards. I don't mind making slimline and mini slimline, and I've done some, I think A7, isn't that what 5? I think that's what 5x7 is. And I'm fine doing those. I just tend to have pre-cut bases for my A2 cards to streamline. Since I do this as my actual job, I try to streamline the process as much as I can. And that's just an easy way for me to not have one more thing to think about on the card, is to pick a specific card size that's a lot easier for me. Do you use ink cubes to watercolor, or do you normally use watercolor paint? I normally use ink cubes. I did use watercolor. Altenew has some watercolor palettes that are real easy to use, and they kind of match their inks. But especially if I have a re-inker, like I could just drop it on a palette, I don't see that there's much difference in inking and doing watercolor with a watercolor palette versus ink cubes. I think that you can get the same look, and maybe that's because I'm not an expert watercolorer, but I do both ways. It just depends on which ink colors I'm wanting to use that day. And this one, since I knew it was a watercolor card, I just pulled out my watercolors. And on this one, I don't know if you can tell. Sorry, I gotta find that. It's actually got metallic watercolor on the blue, and then the other part is just regular watercolor. I'm an old-time stamper and have so many Stampin' Up! Inks. I'm wondering if I should invest in Katherine Poer inks. My answer would be yes. They're amazing. It probably depends on what techniques you like to do. If you are more of a layered stamper, then you may want to invest in something like Altenew inks, because they come in those 4-color sets, which is nice if you're like in a layer stamp a flower. So like on this stencil, I didn't have to come up with all 4 of these colors. They were done for me by Altenew. So things like that are nice, but Katherine Pooler is great at creating bright colors. And they also have, let me see if I've got anything around here to show you. They have 2 different types of colors. They have what they call the party colors, and they have the spa colors. Now, I would pick party colors, as you can see back here. I'm going to pick like bright rainbows most of the time, but I am so impressed with those spa colors because it's colors that take me a little bit out of the box, and it helps me to kind of stretch my my thoughts and my abilities to use different kind of color schemes. So the spa is more like kind of that vintagey look. Let's see if we got another question. Okay, what mic are you using and how do you have it set up? Not to be oh, hallelujah. You think I sound awesome? Yay. I have struggled so much with the microphone. I wanted a lav mic, but either I had to be attached to my computer or I was having trouble getting it to pick up. So right now I have a Shure MV7 and it is right here. So I don't want to pick it up to make too much noise, but it's basically sitting on a stand right here, and I have an overhead boom if I need it. Boom is a little bit more difficult because if I move too far one way or the other, it can be a little bit complicated. Besides the fact that I have to set it up, which is always a little bit of a trouble. Anybody else out there with questions? If not, I'll show you some more cards. Oh, okay, we're about done. So that's great, guys. I had so much fun. Make sure you sign up for the giveaways and follow me on Nicki Hearts Cards. Have a great day.